I am Emily Green. I'm 23, and the night my sister shattered my rib, our mother told me not to ruin the evening. It happened in the kitchen, where birthdays used to be celebrated with cake, and where we used to dance barefoot during summer storms. But that night, the air felt like it had teeth. Vanessa, my older sister by 2 years, was already red-faced when I walked in. She stood like a fuse about to blow, arms crossed and jaw clenched. "Did you go into my room?" she asked. I blinked. "What?" "Don't play dumb, Emily. Something's missing. I don't go in your room. I just came for water." She shoved a chair aside and stormed toward me. Before I could react, she slammed me against the fridge. The elbow to my ribs came fast and sharp. I heard the crack before I felt it. I dropped the glass. It shattered on the floor like the echo of my own disbelief. "I could, Mom," I cried out. She hurt me. My voice sounded foreign in my own ears. Thin, panicked, trembling. But from the living room came nothing but an exasperated sigh. "Oh, honey, not again," Mom called, like I'd just spilled milk. I stood there, folded in pain, cradling my side. Tears burned in my eyes, not from weakness. But because in that moment, I knew she wouldn't come. She didn't. Mom didn't even stand up. She didn't ask what had happened. Didn't look at my face, pale and twisted with agony. She just muttered, brushing popcorn crumbs off her lap. "Vanessa didn't mean it, and don't be dramatic." "I think something's broken," I managed to say. She laughed. "It's probably just bruised. Take a Tylenol and stop ruining the evening." My vision blurred, not from pain, but from the quiet violence of being erased again. I was the youngest. The quiet one. The forgettable one. Vanessa was the golden child. She always had been. She failed classes, quit jobs, stole my things, and no one cared. But when I breathed that night, it felt like glass tearing through my chest. And when I lay in bed, I realized something had finally broken. Not just the bone, something deeper. I didn't sleep that night. Every breath felt like a knife carving its initials into my ribs. I lay curled on my side, clutching my phone, scrolling past emergency numbers I didn't dare press. I wanted to call someone, anyone. But who? I had no health insurance. Mom had kicked me off hers when I turned 18. No savings either. Every cent I earned from my part-time job vanished into family emergencies, which usually meant Vanessa's fake lashes, weekend trips, or Mom's sudden need for groceries that never fed me. By morning, my side was a palette of colors. Purple bloomed over red, and yellow crept in at the edges. When I finally pulled myself out of bed, I found Vanessa in the kitchen again. Humming, she turned, sipped orange juice, my orange juice, and smirked. "You always bruise like a peach," she said, like it was an inside joke, like we were friends. I stared at her, not with fear anymore, but with something colder, a plan. Because Vanessa had always gotten away with it. She stole my friends, my birthday money, even once spread rumors to steal a boyfriend. She was cruel, manipulative, and smug. But this time, I had something she couldn't rewrite. Proof. I limped to the bathroom, locked the door, lifted my shirt. I filmed everything. The bruising, the swelling, the wince when I moved. I recorded Mom's voice from the night before too. "Don't call the cops. It'll ruin her job hunt." Then I made backups. Emailed them to myself. No plan yet, just a flicker of clarity burning steady in my chest. They wouldn't get away with it this time. No more hiding. No more family secrets. No more being the scapegoat in a house where love came with bruises. I didn't tell a soul. I just waited, because the fire they lit in me, it was about to burn down everything they built on my silence. I said nothing for 3 days, no words, no reactions, just silence at dinner. I didn't look up when Vanessa bragged about her upcoming job interview at a publishing firm downtown. They're looking for someone fresh, someone authentic. She beamed, flipping her hair and stealing glances at Mom, like she was already the family savior. Authentic. I nearly laughed. Mom chimed in with a smug smile. "Just try not to bring your drama into it, okay? Vanessa has real potential now." Every word out of their mouths was fuel. They didn't know it, But they were building the fire themselves, one insult at a time. The next morning, I went to urgent care alone. The walk was slow, each step a reminder of what she did to me. The doctor confirmed what I already knew: fractured rib. He raised an eyebrow when I said I slipped. But he didn't ask questions, just gave me the paperwork. I didn't need pity, I needed documentation. I paid with a borrowed card. Mine had been maxed out for years, mostly from bailing Mom out of bills she'd never repay. When I got home, Vanessa was curled on the couch, polishing her interview outfit and giggling on speakerphone with someone about how desperate people were in her industry. I said nothing. I waited. Then that night she made a mistake. She left her laptop open. On the screen was her resume and a glowing reference from Carmichael, the professor she once blasted on Twitter, calling her a fossil with a vendetta for failing her. I took a picture, and then I made a call to human resources at the company she was interviewing with. I didn't exaggerate. I didn't even raise my voice. I told them who I was. I sent them the video evidence, the recording of Mom's voice, the medical report, a note: this is the kind of person you're considering to represent your brand. I hung up and waited, because sometimes revenge doesn't come with a scream. It comes with silence and a stack of receipts. Vanessa strutted out the door the next morning like she was walking a red carpet. New blazer, perfect makeup, and around her neck, my grandmother's necklace. The one Grandma had left to me in her will. The one Mom insisted Vanessa should have. She'll wear it more. Mom had shrugged. By noon, she was back. Not with a job offer, but with rage. Her heels clacked across the floor like warning shots. She flung her purse against the wall and screamed, "Someone sabotaged me." I stayed hidden in the hallway, just listening. "They knew everything," she cried. "They got an anonymous file, photos, a voice recording, a medical report. They said I committed fraud. They said I assaulted someone." Mom flew into the room, panic all over her face. But not the kind that comes from guilt. It was fear. Fear of exposure. "Who would do that to you, sweetie?" she whispered, wrapping an arm around Vanessa like she was the victim. Vanessa's eyes searched the room. They landed on me. "You," she hissed. I tilted my head slightly. "Funny how the truth always finds its way out, huh?" She lunged. Mom screamed. I shut the door behind me, locked it, and smiled. Because the house of cards was finally falling, and they were standing right under it. The next morning, Vanessa's inbox delivered the final nail. Permanently blacklisted from the company's hiring system. HR had forwarded the complaint to her alma mater. And I knew. Oh, I knew. She faked her internship hours. I even had screenshots. While she screamed into her pillow upstairs, I was downstairs gathering receipts. Bank transfers. Text messages from Mom. "Just borrow $1,000 from your student account. Vanessa needs help this weekend." Emails. "Your sister's meds are priority. We'll pay you back. Promise." They never did. I compiled it all, sent it to a legal aid nonprofit. Turns out what they did to me had a name. Financial abuse. Turns out stealing money from your adult child. Lying about medical bills and draining her account for spa trips. That's theft. And now, I wasn't just a victim. I was a plaintiff. I didn't speak to them that week. Not a word, but I planned, quietly, ruthlessly, because my silence was no longer surrender. It was strategy. And the house they thought they ruled. They had no idea I now held the deed. The morning I left, the sky was gray like it knew something was ending. I didn't pack loudly, no drama. Just quiet zippers and folded clothes. I placed 3 things on the kitchen counter: the printed medical report, a USB drive with the photos, recordings, and receipts, an official eviction notice, signed by me. Mom came home first. She saw the envelope with my name on the letterhead, frowned. "What's this?" she asked. I didn't answer. I just watched her open it. Her lips moved silently as she read, her fingers tightening with every line. Then came the trembling, not rage, fear. You can't do this," she whispered. "I just did," I replied. "You have 30 days. Vanessa stormed in an hour later. Her blazer was wrinkled, her eyes wild. What the hell is going on? Read it. Mom croaked, handing her the letter. Vanessa's scream echoed through the hallway. You psycho! You're evicting us. I didn't flinch. Not when she threw the glass. Not when it shattered. Not even when she lunged toward me. I raised my phone calmly. I'd think twice, I said. Next time, the cops won't just come, they'll arrest. She stopped. Something in my eyes told her I wasn't bluffing. The next 30 days passed like molasses, thick with tension. Vanessa spiraled. She applied to jobs like a machine, desperate. But word had spread. Her old professor had confirmed the resume lie. Human resources talked. Nobody wanted a candidate with a paper trail of violence and fraud. Each rejection hit like a slap she didn't expect. Each time, she'd scream, punch the wall, or throw something. But none of it landed on me anymore. Mom tried her old tricks. First the guilt, then silence, then gaslighting. You've always been too sensitive. She didn't mean to hurt you. You know she's going through a hard time. But never once did she say, I'm sorry. Dad, he kept to himself. But one evening, as I passed him in the hallway, he muttered without looking at me, this house was never meant to be yours anyway. I smiled. Funny, I said. The deed says otherwise. Vanessa tried one last time to win. She walked into my room. Uninvited, wearing the necklace Grandma left me. You're ruining everything for me, she snapped. You're obsessed with being the victim. I stood, calm, steady, done. Being your sister has meant bruises, silence, and pretending you're decent when you're not. I'm not obsessed with being the victim. I'm just finally tired of being one. She threw her coffee mug. It shattered inches from my face. This time I picked up the phone. Police, she screamed. Mom begged. But I didn't flinch. They were given one final extension. 48 hours. Tuck. The house felt strange that morning. Too quiet. Too still. Like it was holding its breath. They had 48 hours. And time was up. I heard them packing the night before. Not with care, not with grace. Bags slammed. Drawers ripped open. Vanessa screamed at Mom. Mom cried back when they finally left. They didn't even say goodbye. Vanessa stormed out first, 2 garbage bags in hand. Fury painted across her face. She muttered something under her breath, but I didn't ask. I didn't care. Mom followed, still trying to reason with the world. You'll regret this someday, she said, eyes red, gripping the edges of her coat like the cold was suddenly real. Dad didn't look at me. He looked at the floor. Shoulders slumped, as if the weight of every excuse finally landed. And just like that, the door shut. No more Vanessa. No more walking on eggshells. No more Mom playing referee with a biased whistle. Just silence. Just space. Just peace. I stood in the middle of the hallway, bare feet on the cool floor, and I listened. No screams. No slamming doors. No more pretending this was mine now. And not just the house, my life. The next morning, the sunlight spilled through the windows like it was visiting for the first time. I didn't rush out of bed. I didn't brace myself for slamming cabinets or passive-aggressive muttering. I just breathed, slowly, freely. By noon, I started cleaning. Not the kind of cleaning where you cover pain with bleach. This was different. This was ritual. I scrubbed the walls where Vanessa once punched holes in her tantrums. I threw away the broken lamp Mom said she'd fixed 10 years ago. I painted over memories, not to erase them, but to claim them. Then I opened the door to Vanessa's old room. The air was stale, thick with perfume and dust and denial. I didn't hesitate. I cleared out her vanity, her fake diploma, the piles of beauty products she never paid for. And in that room, I built my art studio, the one dream they laughed at. You'll never pay bills with that, Mom once said. But now, this dream had walls. It had a window. It had a locked door, just for me. And then, I did something bolder. I opened my email. There it was. The scholarship I had deferred, tucked under regret and excuses. They still wanted me. The university still believed in me, even when my family didn't. I said yes, not out of spite, not out of escape, but because I finally could. When fall came, I was already gone. Gone from that house, Gone from the echo of Vanessa's cruelty. Gone from the dull ache of trying to be enough for people who fed on my silence. Campus life was surreal at first. No one asked me to cover rent. No one insulted me when I spoke. No one threw plates or blame. I got used to quiet. I got used to being heard. My professors praised my art. One even featured my portfolio in an online exhibit. I remember standing in the back of the gallery, watching strangers tilt their heads and feel something I had buried for years. Then came the message. Anonymous. On LinkedIn. Did you really ruin your sister's life just to get into college? I stared at it. I let myself feel the sting. Then I smiled. I typed back no. I rebuilt mine. She just got caught in the wreckage of what she destroyed. I logged off. And just like that, her voice lost its power. A few weeks later, I heard from a cousin. Vanessa was couch, surfing 2 cities over. She'd been blacklisted by multiple companies after her fake references and assault records started circling HR circles. She blamed everyone but herself. Especially me, my parents. They were living in a basement suite of an aunt who, apparently, was less tolerant of their entitlement. She called me once, said, "They're not the royalty they claim to be." I just said, "They never were." When graduation came, I walked the stage alone. Not lonely, alone. I wore the necklace Grandma left me, the one Vanessa stole and Mom excused. I took it back. I whispered, "This is for every time I was told to shut up." The applause wasn't thunderous. It didn't need to be. Because I wasn't clapping for anyone else. This time, I was the one holding the pen, and the ending. It was finally mine. Months passed. My world got quieter in the best ways. There were no more random texts from Mom asking for quick favor. No fake apologies wrapped in guilt. No updates about Vanessa's failed interviews. Just peace. I painted late into the night sometimes, letting colors say what words never could. Reds for the rage I'd swallowed. Blues for the grief of never having the mother I needed. Gold for every inch of freedom I earned. One night, I opened a letter from the university. They were offering me a spot in an international program. Full funding. Solo exhibit included. I cried, not because I didn't believe it, but because, for once, I wasn't waiting for someone to snatch it away. I packed lightly. Just the essentials, and one framed photo. A younger me, sitting on the porch with my sketchbook, eyes full of hope I didn't yet know would be tested. Before leaving, I visited Grandma's grave. I sat quietly and said, "You gave me the strength when no one else did. They tried to bury me. You made sure they planted me instead." Then I boarded the plane. A message from Marley Whitman to anyone listening. To the ones who are told to forgive because family is everything. To the ones forced to share a roof with the people who hurt them. To the ones who've been gaslit into silence, you are not dramatic. You are not weak. You are not what they call you in anger. You are surviving. And maybe you're not ready to fight yet. Maybe you don't even know what your version of justice looks like. But one day, you'll breathe easier. You'll stand taller. You'll choose silence not out of fear, but because their voices no longer matter. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, a locked door, a new name on the deed, a life they're no longer allowed to narrate. My name is Marley Whitman, and I didn't ruin anyone's life. I just finally chose to live mine. Revenge stories often come wrapped in flames, doors slammed, truths exposed, reputations shattered. But Marley's story reminds us of something even more powerful sometimes. True revenge is simply healing. It's walking away when you used to beg to be seen. It's reclaiming your voice when they called you too sensitive. It's refusing to play a role in the story they wrote for you. And picking up the pen to write your own. What Vanessa lost wasn't just a job. What the parents lost wasn't just a house. They lost control. And for people who manipulate, losing control is the deepest wound of all. Meanwhile, Marley didn't just win. She transformed. She didn't burn the past. She built a future in spite of it. That's not drama. That's strength. What about you? Have you ever been told to stay quiet to keep the peace? Have you ever been made to feel like the villain for simply setting boundaries? We want to hear your voice. Drop a comment below. Share your story, your thoughts, or even just one word that defines what healing means to you. You never know. Your truth might be the one someone else needs to finally stop protecting the people who hurt them. And don't forget to subscribe to Telling Story with Me. We share real stories every week that remind us you're not alone. You're not broken. And you're never too far gone to begin again.